All right, seeing that it's 4 minutes after 7, I'm going to open the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals of the town of Halifax, January 11th, 2021. Present are Jerry Joy, Sia Nazarella, Peter Passalin, Dan Bassari, and myself.
There
you are. Hi, Dan. Okay, let's see. Well, first let's start out with our agenda. At 7 p.m. we had a hearing on petition number 937, and that the special permit for the horse barn on Walnut Street, presented by Matt Grossheldon from Outback Engineering, and he has requested that we be rescheduled until February 8th, 2021. Alana, did you send him out the official form? Do you know?
Yes, I did. I haven't. He wrote back, but he said that he got it. He just hasn't sent it back yet.
Okay. All right. Good. As long as that's done. All right. We do have a discussion set up tonight for the document request policy and procedure. Let's do the minutes first, and let's get the minutes out of the way. Anybody have a check? We'll review the minutes of a meeting from Monday, December 14th, 2020. Anybody have any changes, deletions, or corrections? I myself read them over kind of quick.
sounds pretty good.
I didn't see anything that needed fixing or changing. As usual, Alana is right on top of things here. Michael Nazarella, Bracken Engineering. Yeah, I think we got everything. If nobody has any corrections or changes, I'll accept the motion to accept the minutes of Monday, December 14th, 2020 as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of Monday, 12/14/20 as noted.
Do I have a second? Okay, I have a motion in a second. All those in favor, we'll go. Might as well do the voice vote. Keziah, how are you voting?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
And Dan, you'll be voting tonight. Your
Yes.
vote? And myself, yes. The minutes pass unanimous. Okay, we'll move on to the minutes of the Halifax Zoning Board of Appeals for December 16th, 2020. Anybody have any changes, deletions, corrections? I didn't see any myself. Everybody good?
Yep.
All good.
Okay, I'll accept the motion, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of December 16th, 2020.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of accepting the minutes of the zoning board meeting of December 16th, 2020, please signify by saying aye. Keziah?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Passes unanimous. Okay, good. Done. Okay, let's jump back up there to discussion. I wanted to put this on the tonight's agenda for our own benefit and the safety and the procedures that we don't have in place for the documentation request policy for the Zoning Board of Appeals. Now, this will be involves whether it's as Alana pointed out there, whether it involves a zoning board member, a member of another board, another official from the town of Halifax, or a member of the public. It's been brought to my attention that pretty much now people are just able to walk in and take a look at a file, would like to review a file, or would like actually official copies of documents from a file, from the zoning board of appeals file. I just thought there should be a little bit more control over this. I think it'd be much more appropriate that if we had something so that everybody is handled consistently and of course in the same way, but wanted to see how the other members of the board felt. I feel that I personally think that first of all, nobody should be able to just walk into the closet behind Alana, pull out one of our files and review it without some type of either supervision or somebody being, in other words, somebody being present there with them and not knowing or having any control of the fact of whether the whole and complete file is returned to the file. So I just wanted to know, I myself believe that the zoning board office should remain locked when either one of the secretaries, whether it be from the planning board or Concom or Alana are not there. I believe the office should remain locked. And I also think that the closet, the storage closet in the back with the file cabinets also remains locked. And I'm suggesting that a policy where if somebody from the public or a member from another board, an official, needs to review or take a look at a file, that they could either, once we get through COVID and everybody's back in place, that either they be able to go into the file room, get the file for this person, bring it out, put it on the desk, the person requesting to view the file, review the file there on our conference desk, and there'd be somebody there with them, whether it be someone from the regulatory board, meaning Terry across the hall, Alana, Joanne, somebody, so that it's supervised. We know, therefore, nothing's being taken out of the file, nothing's being permanently removed, it's being viewed and put back in the same way it was. And we don't have people in and out of our storage room back there, or the access to the files without our knowledge, without something going on. I didn't know how any of you other gentlemen, and Alana yourself too, I expect some, your input too, if you have any suggestions here. But I think something should be in place right now, just so everybody knows. The only one other, aside from Alana, that has a key to the zoning board room is myself, and I'm not sure even at this point that my key fits the storage closet behind me. I think it's a separate key, and I don't have a key to that to make sure that it's locked and secure. So, and I don't know. Also, I do know that the planning board, there is a key to the office, and right now I don't know where that key is, and I don't know if they have keys to the storage closet behind Alana. But that's my main concern, is keeping our documentation secure. I don't know how anybody else feels or thinks it's maybe too much or is required, but I think we need something in place to ensure that everybody gets treated with the same. Any input from you guys, I'd appreciate it.
What if they come in, they want a copy of a file?
Okay, that's altogether different. Now, if they want copies of a file, then it's not just a viewing of the file. They would be required to fill out a, what's it called, Alana, a public document request. So it's put in writing. So therefore, if copies are made of different documents inside the file itself, either Alana or one of the secretaries or would be able to probably, I'm hoping, just process it on the spot, give them what they want, make the copy of it, make sure that the file is returned, and then we're putting the file back in the file cabinet so we know it's all secure.
Why don't we use the same system for them to come in and view the file? Fill out a form and sign their name and, give them what.
Date it and stamp it.
Yep.
I think that's so we know exactly who and when is in and out of the file. I agree with that.
And all that stuff.
Right. I agree with that. Alana, is that like, is that possible? Is that, feasible to require that, to have somebody come in like that?
I mean, I don't know like the laws and everything. I think Charlie probably would be able to say a little more on this, but I mean, it could, I believe it could just be a simple form, just a sign in, sign out type of thing.
I mean, technically, no one has to send in a written request, but the town itself can in essence create the written request. So if Joe or Mary comes in and says, I want to see a file, then who's ever there to take care of it can write down that, okay, today's the day, Joe asked for the file about this particular housing project or this variance or whatever. And, he was able to view the file and technically doesn't have to sign anything either. But you keep a record that Joe came in and wanted to look at the A Street file and you provided that to him. And then if he wants a copy, he wrote down, Joe wanted copy of the A Street file, was 15 pages. It was 75 cents that he had to provide to the town.
Right. That would be altogether separate, Charlie, from the public document.
That's exactly the public records.
Right. That's the procedure right now that is in force for
Right.
a public records request.
Yeah, but by law, the person does not have to fill out a actual form, but the town can create a form and say, and record the fact that Joe wanted to come in and look at a file, or that Joe wanted to come in and get a copy of the file. But under the law, we can't require that Joe bring in, write, the actual written request. It's a little bit crazy, but that's what the law is. We can create a document, but we can't require Joe to put the request in writing or sign a document or anything like that.
So that would be basically for our own
Yes,
own
for our own records, so that
our
we
own
can,
records. So that on
Joe ever
January
come in and
11th,
ask for this, we can say, yeah, Joe came in on January 11th and asked for this.
right? I don't think either is being unreasonable by any means. That way, if for whatever reason down the road, all of a sudden, like a letter of extension, a 30-day extension is all of a sudden not in the file. We need to be able to keep track of who's had what in at what time. So I'm thinking that's probably create a document or a form like that, just like without a signature, just to view the file. And that goes for everybody. I definitely don't want to single anybody or even from the public out, whether it be a selectman or one of us or from another board. I think there should be a record of who's going in and out of and viewing a file.
Bert, has there been problems with this in the past, or are we missing something?
No, as far as I know, there has not been. But
So we're just being proactive.
Yes, and it was brought to my attention that, all of a sudden you could turn around, and especially now when Alana's not there or a secretary's not in the particular office, all of a sudden there's somebody in the file room, going through documents. So I think that's the, being proactive. And I understand too that just talking to a couple of people that this is regular procedure for other towns also do the same thing, not just to have a record of who's doing what.
It's almost like you could have a log sheet right there. And you just,
Exactly.
The town
Right.
employee who's ever giving them access writes in the log the day, the time, and what the documents were.
Right. How do you guys feel about the security wise, about keeping the room locked and the storage room locked? There's also several file cabinets in there. I myself do not feel it's overkill by any means that the file cabinets themselves be kept locked. But I understand with talking with Alana that there's a problem, I guess you'd call it, where we don't know where the keys are, or at this point either who has keys or who has access to it. Alana was saying this afternoon, some of them might be there, but others are not. And there's no there's nothing in place that says, oh yeah, the keys are kept here, so we know that they're there, you know, and we know that everything, our records are secured, because we do share the closet, the storage closet there. There are conservation files in there, and there's also some limited amount of planning board files in there. So we do have to have access to it. When I say have, I mean everybody have access to it, you know.
Bert, maybe the locking of it can come later, but I would have thought that there would have been a logbook anyhow. I don't think there's any place I've ever gone to ask for something that you didn't fill out a log that I was there at a certain time. I think a logbook would be the first step.
Okay.
And then
Well-
locking, that's something you'd have to figure out between the departments, or where the keys are, or make sure the keys are available.
Right. Well, the regulatory board, which across the hall in the building inspector's office, if for whatever reason, you know, I was not available, or one of you guys needed to take a view at the file during, that's another thing too, it should be during normal business hours. I think it should be limited to that also, so that, you know, 8, 9 o'clock at night, all of a sudden, you know, someone again wants to review a file. I think it should be done during business hours, but they can always, if we were not available, or, you know, with the COVID schedule and that we have, they can always go across the hall to the building inspector's office, and Terry would have a key and have access. And again, if they wanted, or Jerry, for example, you wanted to view a file, she would be required to stay there while you viewed the file. I don't think that's too over concerned or overreacting as far as having somebody monitor, for lack of a better term, you know, where the file is and where it's going, and I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's perfectly reasonable to have somebody if they wanted copies of documents, they can request that. But if they wanted to look at the file, I don't think it's unreasonable at all to have it supervised, have a log of who's doing it, and have specified hours that they need to come in and look at those files. I think that's completely reasonable.
Specified normal business hours, Peter, does that sound
Yeah,
all right?
right?
Anybody else have any? Yeah, well, okay, this is like Jerry said, this is a good first step. I think we should create the form as Charlie had suggested. We'll put this down in it, and then we'll move on to as far as locks on the file or locking the doors. But I think with nobody there, it would only make common sense that the place stay locked, and if nobody was there. So I mean, when you think about it, how can Terry in the business in the building inspector's office see anybody slide into an open door into the ZBA office? You know, and I say, you know, where it's shared, but I do think it only makes sense that we keep it locked. Do you want? What do you guys think, or do you think you want to, like Jerry has kind of suggested, you want to do these in steps? We'll start out with the form, and we'll go from there. But I personally don't think it's a lot of heavy lifting to just keep the door locked and open it upon request, you know. What do you guys think?
I get no problem with having it locked. You just need to get everyone to have the keys, to make sure people have the keys that need them.
Well, that again, Jerry, that, as far as I know, yeah, I have a key to the zoning office in Alana does. You know, the planning board has certainly, I don't know how many sets of keys the planning board have to it, or conservation. I don't know that part, but yeah, we'll keep it locked as best we can. If somebody's in there, then somebody has business to do in there, as in the secretaries or whatever. That would only make sense if nobody was there to keep it locked. Both doors, both the storage and the other.
Well, that's another thing anyways, is have a ledger. They come in, they sign their name and the date, and they want to view the file, have somebody there view the file with them, and they're on their way. Okay,
well then, why don't we do what I have down here, and I'll put it out for a vote from you guys, but what I had written down was that Alana and I, and even Charlie for that matter, we will work on putting a form together to create a form to review and note time, date, and what the log information as was referred to. Number two was a person to supervise whoever was viewing the folder in the zoning office at the time. The folder's not to be removed from the office. I think that's important, that it stays in the zone. No, I'm just talking somebody to view it, not making copies. That's a whole different ballgame. Specify specific normal business hours that it's to be conducted under, and the doors, both doors to the office and to the storage area remain secure and remain locked when not attended. How's that? Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Could I have that in the form of a motion, and we'll vote on it, and then we'll work together and put something together. We'll bring it by a meeting and we'll vote on it to implement it, if that's the pleasure of the board.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to implement a log for supervised viewing of files within regular business hours, and to ensure that the storage files in office are locked when there's no one at us. That's all right?
Yeah, sounds perfect. What, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. I'm going to ask for a voice vote, if I could, please, on the motion to create the form to ensure the security of the files and procedures regarding the viewing of files for the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'll ask for a voice vote. Keziah?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So that passes unanimously. Alana, I'll be in touch with you. Maybe we'll put something together. We'll go down, give Charlie a once over so we can add, delete, and tweak it so it sounds correct, and we'll go from there. All right.
Sounds good.
Chairman, Mr.
All right.
Chairman, can we heard? Alan Diaz?
Oh, Alan Diaz, there you are. Yes, sir.
Yes, just to let you know that we at the Board of Health have a form that is filled out, that person requesting that information. So Alana could actually take a look at that form, and you might want to duplicate it. Ours is so that you can fill it out, and then one of those goes in the folder so that anybody else looking at the folder will know, and that remains in the folder, that someone else was looking at it. So we do have that.
So Alan, that's just for viewing, taking a look at a folder. Okay, not
Yeah.
document.
Any other public documents requests, have to go through the proper channels, but
Right.
we keep track of who is actually looking at the file.
All right, well, that's a good place to start. Alana, why don't you see if you can get a copy of that from the planning board, and
Sure.
why don't we make
Board
sure
of
that
Health.
it's
You can reach out to Peggy at the Board of Health.
Yeah, I'll ask Peggy for it. Sure. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Great, thank you, gentlemen. All right, that's our discussion there. Let's see, let's move on to, well, first of all, our other business, we have our 40B comprehensive permit for the Halifax Country Club Estates, petition number 920. That'll be Wednesday, January 13th, 2021 at 7 p.m. via Zoom. So we have received, you can see above this, several communications and correspondence regarding the project and the revisions. This isn't the meeting to get into all of that, but we'll certainly put them all and review them all on Wednesday's 40B hearing. But let's see, what else do we have? We have from the Board of Health co-chairman Alan Diaz with comments on petition number 920, the Country Club Estates. Once again, we have received them, and we'll leave that for Wednesday night's meeting. Email from Bracken Engineering with attached withdrawal forms for 8 Hilda Lane. We have all that now, Alana. That's all in our file officially, the withdrawal form.
Yes, it is. We're all good. And I also filed it with Barbara.
Oh, good. Oh, All right, the third one there was an email from Paul Cousins, Delphic Associates, for a 30-day extension to petition number 920, the Country Club Estates 40B. That was on the 17th. So, I mean, he's still on for Wednesday, as far as we know, right, Alana?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, that was my impression.
Haven't heard
Okay.
anything new.
All right, on December 17th, we had an email from Kerry Butler with her comments regarding and concerns regarding 8 Hilda Lane, which again, that has been withdrawn, petition number 930. 922, a letter from the Board of Health agent, Bob Valeri, to Cled's Tree Service, 450 Industrial Drive. We also have some other communications here regarding Clegs, but no, they pushed off. They rescheduled Lalana too, didn't they? Ask for a reschedule for 450 Industrial Drive, or have they not applied to us?
Nope, we don't have any application from them.
Okay. All right. All right, good enough. 1223, 1230, and 15 emails from Outback Engineering with the Zoning Board of Appeals. Extension form, prior septic plan, Form A plan, which was submitted to the Board of Health. Petition number 928. Again, they requested a reschedule till February 8th. So we'll just leave them in the file until we have that petition before us. Email with attached revised plan from Silva Engineering. The building on 15, the building department, 293 Oak Street, a stop work order for unpermitted renovations and the denial letter. I did see that in the file. As far as I know, that may be something coming before us in the near future. But again, we don't have anything in front of us for any type of review or decision on. 15, an email from the Planning Board Chairman Alan Diaz with comments and attached site plans for the Country Club Estates and O'Reilly's located at 330 Plymouth Street. Again, that will be read into the on our Wednesday meeting regarding the Country Club Estates. And January 6th, an email from Pat Brennan, Omri Engineering, with a response to Silver Revised Plans, petition number 920. Again, we won't be reviewing anything in regards to the Halifax Country Club on any other meeting other than a scheduled Wednesday night meeting. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, I do have a note here that everybody on the Zoning Board of Appeals, we have our annual acceptance acknowledgement of the ethics and conflict of interest laws. It's a, we do it every year. You have to go online and hit the right buttons and then sign it and get it back to Alana. And let's see what else we have. Oh, our annual report. Did hopefully everybody get a copy of that? That's our ethics one. States. I did have it here, Alana. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, here it is, our annual report. In 2020, the Zoning Board of Appeals heard and/or rendered decisions on 9 special permits, 3 variances, and 3 appeals as prescribed in Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, the Zoning Act, and also further clarified by the town's zoning bylaw. The board normally consists of 5 regular members and 2 associate members. In 2020, the board will have ended with no changes to their members. There is an opening for an additional associate member. Each member brings with them varying backgrounds, skills, and expertise. The board would welcome residents to consider the opportunity to join the board. Thank you to all the members for the long-standing commitment to the board and the town of Halifax. Our hearings are open to the public and are normally held on the second Monday of each month. We continue to welcome the participation and input from the town as Halifax continues to grow. Respectfully committed, we're all there. How's that sound? Any additions, deletions, or corrections anyone like to make on that?
Sounds good.
I think so far so good. Thanks, Alana. Another job. What do you need? Do you need all our signatures on this or what, Alana?
I don't think you need signatures. I just wanted you guys to see it. I don't even know if it's necessary that you accept it. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I just wanted you guys to see it.
I think we have in the past. We've all we voted on to accept it.
Okay.
Why don't we do that? I'll accept a motion to accept the zoning board of appeals 2020 annual report as submitted. If someone could make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2020 zoning board of appeals annual report.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. I'll ask for a voice vote. Kasia,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Dan,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, bingo. I think that's it. Next scheduled meeting will be our Wednesday night meeting. Oh, Charlie, I guess Amy was going to attend the Zoom meeting on Wednesday. Said she was going to be running a little bit late, but she will be with us.
Okay, sounds good.
All righty,
I will
just
be
so you
here
know.
or someplace.
Okay, all right. I'm all good unless anybody has anything else. Good. How about a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
In a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good night.
Good
Thank you
night.
very much, gentlemen. Thanks an awful lot, Alana. We'll
Thank
see
you guys.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year to all you guys.
Yeah.